Okay, hello and welcome to Black Catch Chat, the international fans live stream preview. Today, here we are with a panel, international panel. We've got an American actor. We've got Ian from Seaham. Ian from Seaham, who likes a pie and a pint. And his special skill is that he can tell people to F off in German. So, Ian, I'm surprised.
No problem whatsoever.
I suppose you want to hurl a couple of insults at me for that introduction.
Not at the moment, but I'm sure something will crop up.
Black Cats, he's the vice president. He's in Wuppertal. Ian, guten Tag to you, mate. Yeah, and we've also got, as we said, an actor, American actor, Jesse Birch. He's in Los Angeles. Early morning for you, Jesse, 8:30?
Yeah, I've been up for about an hour and a half just because I wanted to get the coffee in, so I was awake for this. Quart of coffee every morning, so yeah, I'm well energized.
Yeah, no,
That's just to get me a basic functionality level.
I used to live with a guy from Sacramento, like Northern California, and he used to wake up. And we used to both teach English. He wake up at 6 in the morning, and he used to get a pint of coffee, and then walk to his car with a pint of coffee. It was this guy, but yeah. Anyway, our final guest is Welsh history podcaster. He's in Edmonton, Canada. He's playing it down, but we know you're really cool, Jonathan. Jonathan Williams in Edmonton. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm awake, which is good.
Yeah.
I know one German swear word. I can honestly say.
Go for it.
Go on then.
Scheisse.
Aye.
I know another one, Ian. It's like Schwanzkopf, isn't that? Schwanzkopf.
The only reason I knew it is because I used to be roommates with a German guy. Well, he was in Germany, and he would say it all the time. That's how I picked it up.
Yeah, it's not really a swear word in German. It's just a way of expressing yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
I've got a better one, Ian. Schwanzkopf. That's the one, isn't it?
Schwanzkopf.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Depends who's saying that. If a lass is saying to it, you might well be in there.
Right, is that how it works, is it?
Well, you know what a schwanz is, don't you?
A pig, isn't it?
No, a schwein is a pig.
Okay.
Schwanz is a tail. Now, if you turn the person around and it's a bloke, what's he got between his legs? A schwanz.
Yeah, I think I've got my pronunciation wrong, but I don't care. I think I'll stick to that one.
But if a bloke's saying to it, it means you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think I did get it right then. Never mind. Anyway, we'll stick to football instead of languages. We're back. We're playing Nottingham Forest in just under an hour's time away from home. Jonathan, the team news is out. So Chris Rigg keeps his place from last week. Masuaku comes in for Reynaldo. There was a lot of talk about would he go for a back three and bring Ballard in, but he hasn't. Are you happy with that lineup, or do you think possibly we should have included Ballard in the starting 11?
I suspect they've been training with this lineup, like that formation for most of the season. So I think that's probably why they've left it that way. I don't think they want to get into making radical changes one week to another, especially when you're away and you want to have everything just tip top because you don't want to get exposed real fast. So I suspect that might be the reason. I'm mildly surprised Ballard isn't in, but it makes sense based on who they've got starting. He will probably see the field at some point, I would assume, today, especially if they need him for special team for set pieces. I meant to say, geez, that's American
You're getting
football
those NFL terminology.
Yep. Sorry, it's in my brain, and I'm tired.
We've just lost about 25 subscribers there,
I
Jonathan.
know. I apologize, everyone. If it makes it up to everybody, I am going to the Wolves game on the 18th of October. So,
Lucky git.
Yep.
But anyway, listen, it's Dan Ballard. We can call him whatever we like, special teams or not.
He is very special.
Jesse, you were kind of like gutted for Chris Rigg that he got taken off last weekend. Yeah. He's got another chance today, and I think he'll be well up for it, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was funny. I watched the All Access video after that match, and watching him come down the tunnel at half, he looked like he was going to cry. He was so frustrated. I mean, so I'm very excited for him. I hope he can step up. This is an exciting moment for him, obviously, because he played so much of the season last season for us, and the opportunity to step up in the Premiership. I'm sure he's going to be well up for it. It's an opportunity for him to prove himself, and so this is great. I'm glad. I hope he gets to stay in the whole match, or most of the match anyway this time.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Ian, then, so Masuaku, or as you like to call him,
Musaka.
what would you call Musaka? That's the guy. Yeah.
Not easy to remember.
Yeah. So Masuaku comes in at left back. He replaces Reynoldo, who's out for 3 matches due to his red card. I saw him in the Huddersfield match in the Carabao Cup, but he played centre half. And obviously, he was next to Mukiele, but he had a very good game. He was pinging some cracking balls from left to right. Yeah. So he's playing left back. The reports on him say that he's more of a kind of an attacking fullback, possibly a wing back, more than a defender. So how do you see him fitting in to our starting 11? Do you think he'll be the one that gets to push forward and Trey Hume kind of sits back?
Well, it remains to be seen. I think we'll be a bit tentative on that side to start with. The question is whether he can link up with Enzo, because I'm taking it that Enzo is going to be playing out left.
Yep.
Why not? I mean, we bought these players to be there for this situation. I mean, Ronaldo has been bombing down the wing. He's been hoying crosses over. He had a brain fart last week. Sorry, I swore. But you know, I mean, these tough things happen, and that's what he's there for. He's there to step in, to prove his worth, and to do it. And I don't see any reason why he can't do it. I mean, what we paid for him, 12 million or something like that. He's got to be some sort of player for us to be paying that sort of money. Going back to Ballard, I can understand why Ballard's not in, because he's only just come back from injury. He's injury prone, even though he managed to take 3 of their guys out. I don't know if you saw the picture of the keeper and 2 of the defenders lying on the ground, and Ballard's just strolling away. You know, how tough is that? What a bloke. But, definitely, and that Riggs getting another chance, I'm over the moon for him, because I thought he played very well the 30 minutes he was on last week. Unfortunately, he had to come off. When Ronaldo got the red card, I immediately thought to myself, Riggs coming off, and it's happened. You know, I think it was fairly obvious that either he or the Moroccan right winger was going to come off. You know, I thought it was one of those two. Mm-hmm. It depends how the game turns out, because the 3 of them together, Mukiele, Alderete, and Ballard at the back, there was nothing getting past them. They fought like hell last week. That's one of the best performances I've seen from a Sunday defence for a long time. It was brilliant. But we want to try and win this game, and all kudos to Labrie for trying to do that. But he's proved himself now capable of changing the game in midstream if need be. He didn't do it last year, or even the year last year, because he didn't have enough. He didn't have what he thought was on the bench to do better than the people who were already on the pitch. Now he's got the people on the bench who can come on and make a difference. I've got no argument whatsoever with the selection of the team, did you?
Mm-hmm. Good man, and I concur with all of that, Ian McNee. Right, anyway, onto the bench, Jonathan.
If you hadn't.
Early morning humour for Jesse and Jonathan. If you don't get a smile from that, you never will. Right. Anyway, Jonathan, the bench then, I mean, we've lost Habib, we've lost Reynaldo, but you still look at our bench and you go, we've got some serious quality there. And one name that I do like to see on the bench today is Luke O'Nien.
Luke O'Nien!
Yeah, that's huge. And I was looking at it, and I was looking at the fact that they put Broby and Mayenda there as well. I think that's that's big because I would like to see at least Broby get a few more minutes to kind of prove that he can do what he needs to do. I think they got into a situation in the game he was in where they weren't really attacking, and I think that really hurt his abilities, or at least it just didn't allow him to display his abilities properly. So my hope is we see a little bit more of him, see him actually in an attacking role, but we'll see. I was just taking a peek at Nottingham's lineup comparisons, and they are interesting because they have gutted their midfield and put in completely different players.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if our midfield can expose them a bit because of that, or if basically they've got enough, in the midfield with the money they've spent to be able to protect themselves. But I guess we'll see.
Well, Jesus is on the bench.
Yeah,
I noticed, and he scored. So they decided to go with starting Wood, and he had been benched at Betis midweek, right? And so
yep.
And Jesus is starting to making a splash. I figured he would start today. I'm worried about him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they could bring him on still, but it's interesting to kind of see. I know I was looking at kind of the commentary on social media for the fans in Nottingham, and there was a little bit of discussion of a couple of possible injuries and questions about that, but it's hard to say at this point kind of what we're going to deal with, because obviously they had Real Betis midweek, so the defense is largely the same. Is that going to stretch them a bit? I don't know. This will be interesting to see because neither them nor us has dealt with Europe yet, so we'll see what happens.
No, but Jesse, I think that was probably a tactical plan for them to rest Chris Wood for the Europe game, because you've got Jesus, he's probably more used to European style of football. So Chris Wood, it's a big ask for Mukiele and Alderete today, because Chris Wood he's got 100 Premier League goals now. I think he scored recently. Their bench is interesting, isn't it? Because they've got Hudson-Odoi on the bench, and they've got Amari Hutchinson, who are both like tricky, fast wingers. And we saw last week, Jesse, that Trey Hume did have a bit of a pickle, didn't he? With I think it was Sancho last week, who was a bit fast when he came on.
Yeah, he was, but I'm not that worried about Hume. I'm not worried about our back line. I just want us to be able to, obviously with still getting all the names right, but. With Mukiele there and Alderete, I feel like we're in decent shape. Hume sometimes gets done, but I'm not that worried about it. I'm more concerned about us getting kind of dominated in the midfield, and because obviously, if Rig has a stellar game, if he's really able to hold his own, and Lefebvre is able to keep the ball and move the ball around properly, I think we'll be all right. But this is going to be a tougher test today, I think. I don't know. Isn't this Big Alf's first home game in charge? I believe.
Ange. It's
Ange, not Alf. Yeah. Ange. That's what I meant.
Yeah, Big Ange. Yeah. I think it could be first home game. Yeah.
Right. And so I think the crowd will be up for it. I think it's going to be a tougher game. I'd snap your hand off for a draw today. But even with their recent form.
Which is they've got 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 defeats. So they're in 17th place with 5 points. But Ian, going on to Forest then, does that midweek game in Europe give us a slight advantage that we've had more rest time? Or maybe not at the start, but in the second half perhaps, when they might tire?
Yeah, I know what you mean. The Premier League is everybody's bread and butter, regardless of how well or how badly they do in Europe. And I can't honestly see them holding back. People might be knackered from the Europe game. You don't know. I mean, there again, they could be lifted because they got a decent result away. It was a draw away from home, so that helps them. As was said earlier, I'm surprised that Jesus isn't playing because he scored 4 goals so far, I believe.
Yeah, 4 so far.
How the hell has Chris Wood scored 100 goals? He's a big plank, for fuck's sake. He used to play for the Mags. I mean, I honestly do. Sorry?
I think he scored 20 to get him up. in the promotion season. In the
Yeah, well,
season,
quite
which is
possibly. I
amazing.
mean, I could score goals in the championship.
And you're a
Now,
goalkeeper. But
No,
anyway,
but I don't think we need to worry too much about Forest. You were talking earlier on about Trey. I mean, if somebody gets past Trey once, they'll not do it again. They just break them in half, you know, which is what he's good at. I mean, I've looked at it time and time and time again. I can't see him getting any touch on that ball whatsoever when he flattened. Well, he didn't flatten. He sent Morgan Rogers into orbit.
yeah.
He sent him into orbit. He didn't flatten him. Yeah. But that's Trey, you know. And once you've sampled Trey, once you've been humed, you know, you don't want to do it again. You know, people start to back off a bit, you know, and that's no problem. As for midfield, as long as you've got Saka in midfield, I can't see us having a problem. Because if somebody's not on the game, he'll tell them. Honestly, I think he is going to be, he is now, our signing of the season. He's brilliant. I've been watching him for the last 2 years here in Germany, playing for Bayer Leverkusen. And he is great. I saw him in the friendly down at Augsburg in August, his first game for us. And every ball that came at him, he killed it dead. It wasn't bouncing off his foot about 5 meters away from him or anything like that. It was dead. And that shows he's a bloody good footballer, and he reads the game. If the opposition's on the attack, he can tell people to go there, or he goes there himself. He knows where the ball's going to go. And I would say so far, 90% of the time he's been right. So as long as Saka's got two young lads next to him who are going to do the running, I mean, Siddiqui, what did I read the other day? Water covers 7/10 of the world. Siddiqui covers the other 3/10.
I heard this.
Brilliant.
Love that.
Brilliant. Really good. You know, and it's true. He just runs. He runs farther than the bloody Duracell bunny. You know.
Jonathan, I was listening to the pre-match press conference with Lebris earlier this week, and Nick Barnes from BBC Radio Newcastle made a good point saying that Sunderland haven't scored a goal yet in the first half of any match. And Lebris kind of played it down. He just said, like, basically it's a balance of seeing how the match is going to play out, and then obviously the second half we analyse how we can capitalise on their weaknesses. Does that concern you at all, that we haven't scored in the first half?
I'd be more concerned if we were struggling. As funny as it sounds, I'm not worried about it quite yet, because the point of our playing style is to be able to counterattack and to be fast on the break and get those opportunity goals. The concern I would have, actually, I think, if I was to describe something about it, is that sometimes early in games they can look a little incapable of getting the ball forward. Like, they get hemmed in kind of, and they struggle a little bit, and then all of a sudden in the second half they look like a different team, right? Which is why they've been scoring late and coming back in games. But it's just, I think it might be that they're just warming up. It could be just the mix of players still trying to get, working it out, or what it is about the delivery. The one thing you don't want to see is you don't want to see what happened in the championship, where you have the forward is running forward and nobody's with him, and the pass comes from about midfield and he's the only one there, and they take it away from him really fast and it goes straight back the other way. What I think the advantage of people like Siddiqui and Talbi in that is that they give you the ability to move with pace and get on the ball and move the ball forward fast, so that doesn't happen as much. Now, why is it happening in the second half and in the first half? It's not so much. I don't know yet. I'm not entirely certain. But I do think that they need to break the habit of, they have to be better at the passes they're putting forward in going into the opposition's end. That's, I think, the fundamental issue, whether that's carrying it forward and short passes, or if it's a long pass that they're trying to hit the guy. If they're doing that, they need to be perfect. And the only one who really does that really well is Xhaka. The others aren't quite as good at it yet. But
I mean, it could just as well be the fact that this is a new league to us, and that I mean, every team we're facing now for the first time, and so it could be just a matter of sort of getting the lay of the land, testing out who our opposition is, and seeing, okay, how is this game going to go? How are they approaching the game? What are we, how are we countering it? Yeah, it'd be nice to see more goals in the first half, but I do wonder whether that has something to do with it. And the fact that we're able to see out the first half often without being scored
Conceding,
again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is to me, that's fantastic. I mean, that means we're strong at the back. We're holding off these teams that we don't really know a whole lot about. I mean, we can only watch so many training films, right? And then but getting on the pitch is a completely different animal. And then the fact that we're actually often, once we get back into the clubhouse, or not the clubhouse, whatever, the changing rooms,
locker room,
and then and he can say, okay, this is where we are. Yeah, the locker room. There we go.
I can't help it. It comes out. I'm tired.
Not when you get too young.
I'm the worst one in this right now.
You talk about football.
Well, see, locker room also comes from hockey. You got to forgive me. It's more than just football.
You've chosen a couple of North Americans to be on this podcast, so you cannot complain.
I'm trying. Talk about change room.
Yeah. Ian's got nightmares of locker rooms from child, haven't you, Ian? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Bournemouth just equalised against Leeds 2-2 in the 92nd minute. That's nice.
Oh.
That'll do. But yeah.
I can't say
that. I'm watching it on VPN, NordVPN.
All right, okay.
SAFC. Discount code 74%. Trust me. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a dodgy stick, would it?
No, it's actually Daz on Spain, mate. I pay for it. Right, I'm legal. I'm legit. Right, Jesse.
Yep.
So we've talked about our inability to score in the first half this season, but if you look at our opponents so far, none of them really wanted to have the ball. Neither, just like us. Today, I think Nottingham Forest, especially under Big Ange, they're a team that like to go forward and attack. So today could be a chance where we do break that duck, I think, to get that goal in the first half, if we get our counters right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what we kind of, Jonathan referenced it. That's the sort of the style of game we're playing. And so if we're given that opportunity to sort of smash and grab on the counterattack, then we'll take it. And I think we have the talent now to be able to do that without question, with Xhaka and Siddiqui making his runs up and making crosses and stuff. And Isidore obviously is in form right now, so I think we're going to be in good shape if we're given that opportunity. But again, it might be that scoreless first half again, and that I'm all right with that right now. I think any amount of time, any 45-minute stretch where we can go in the Premiership without conceding a goal, that portends good things for us long term going forward in the league, because we're not, like you said, we're not conceding either, and we have shown that we can score, especially on a counter, but even not on a counter, and that's that it shows that we have some versatility. I listened to his press conference, Labrisse's press conference, and I was so impressed with how little he gave up, but also the quiet confidence he exudes, the amount of thought that he clearly is putting into it. He talked about the game as sort of something to analyze. It's like a puzzle for him, and I really appreciate that. And I think he will have done his homework and set us up properly for this.
Yep. Ian, how do you see the first half going? And do you think it's going to be tight, or do you think it'll be quite open?
It's going to be tight from the start, without a doubt, because we'll feel them out. We'll see Ange has only been there for four games, so we don't really know what sort of team or how his team's going to play for him, and whether they can play the way he wants them to play. So I think we'll sit back as we do, soak up a bit of pressure, see what they're doing. If they do play a high press, that should give us some space behind them, which Isidore can run into if you get some decent balls coming from Saka or from midfield anyway. I'm not really bothered if we concede a goal, to be honest, because we always come back. We play till the end. I mean, that's what we're about. And that's the best thing I can say about this team this year. We've only gone against West Ham. We didn't concede a goal. Against Burnley, strangely, the only team who wasn't in the Premier League last year so far, they played our game and they beat us at it. They especially their third goal was a breakaway. That was Sunderland. Their third goal was a Sunderland goal because we were pressing and they just broke away. We are capable of that. We know we're capable of that. So let's play that way. Don't change it just because it's bloody Forest. Okay. I mean, I remember having lively discussions with you, Lee, last year, especially during the last 5 games of the season, as to why we were always losing and everybody was panicking. And I said, in Reggie, we trust the guy. He knows what he's doing. I mean, by that time, he'd got 41 games out of the way. He knew we couldn't go any further. We couldn't go any further up. We wouldn't be caught. We were bang on for 4th. Let's live with it and let's experiment. And that's what he did. And he learned an awful lot about his squad in those 5 games. He's still learning about his squad now. It'll be interesting to see if Musaka stays on even. I mean, he might be such a bloody catastrophe that they bring Gertrude on and replace him for that. Or sorry, that was German. Anne was German. That's not a girl's name. Or he might go to a back 3. So depending on how the game's going out, he might go to a back 3, bringing Ballard on. But he's capable of that. Trust him. He can do that. That's why he's there. One great statistic I saw during the week on Facebook is that since Labrie came in 15 months ago, we've never been lower than 7th. And we're in the Premier League, for fuck's sake, and we've never been lower than 7th.
Jesse, do you want to come in there?
Steve Bruce, go us to 10th,
Yeah.
Well, I was one of the ones who was panicking. And, Ian, you were right. I'm happy to say it.
Yeah, okay. You can say that in retrospect, but I'm not saying that in retrospect. I was saying it at the time.
Oh, I know. I remember. And I was very worried going into the playoffs that we weren't going to, because we had developed a sort of a losing mentality, I felt. And I was worried about that. And it's not that I didn't trust him. It's just that I was just concerned that the rot would set in. And plus, I'm a Sunderland supporter. I've been supporting this team since 1999.
That's the top and bottom of it. I mean, I'm a bit older than you guys. I've been putting up with this shit for 73 years. Well, okay, the first 5 years I didn't know what was going on. But I've been putting up with this shit for 68 fucking years. Yeah. And it's very difficult to get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
There used to be a fanzine for Sunderland called "It's the Hope I Can't Stand."
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
it's such a perfect title.
It's hard to. I'm still waiting to be kicked in the teeth. To be honest, I'm still waiting for Arsenal to come along and take Labrie away from us or something. I'm still. I'm still expecting to lose.
Well, that's okay. We can get Graham Potter in now.
No thanks.
Oh my goodness.
They've got an upgrade, haven't they, by getting Nuno in?
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jonathan, one last team that might not get relegated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole problem with them being so bad for so quickly, especially really bad.
Yeah. And then, listen, there's rumours that Amorim might get the boot as well. And Lydia, we play them next week, so can you just keep them a week longer?
Yeah, please.
It'd be nice.
Your new manager come to Sunderland. You got an ex-player come to Sunderland.
Yeah,
it's always going to happen.
Yeah.
It's always has in the past. Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, Jonathan, I was looking at Forest's results, right, and so they average per game about 58% possession. But there was one game where they played against West Ham. I think they played West Ham at home, and they got 3-0.
Yeah.
So they do like to have possession. So I think that our style of play will really suit us today. And I would like to see the likes of Lafitte and Talby really hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it, like Ange is big on offensive football. He wants to come forward as much as possible. He wants to be aggressive, and that again feeds into our style because we want you to come forward, so you do leak opportunities at the back, and that's kind of the whole method we're using against these larger Premier League teams. Not calling Nottingham Forest larger, but you know what I mean, like the ones who have the European teams, especially. I actually think it'll be interesting on a complete aside to see what happens in December when we start to play these bigger sides. Yeah, we're gonna have a few people that'll step away because of AFCON, but I think it'll be curious because I think we're all. I mean, I'm dreading, playing Liverpool and Man City and all those teams.
Bollocks.
But I mean, yeah,
That's the attitude.
that's what I was gonna say. I dread it for the fact that I know that's probably a loss. But at the same time, I don't dread it. It's more like I've expected this will probably happen. Thus, I'm not surprised if it does, and I'm delighted if it doesn't. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. When you talked about the playoffs last year, I went in with no belief they were going anywhere. I figured they were going to get knocked out straight away because, as you all were saying, looking at the second half of the year, they were very up and down, and I was very concerned that that would carry on into the playoffs. So having them absolutely not do that was again a delightful surprise, and it's a very happy one. But much like everybody else here, I come from a long line of watching Sunderland and seeing them foul up at the worst times and have trouble in the playoffs and lose in finals and not be able to do penalty kicks to save their lives. So you've come to expect that. And yet really, if you look at it, the last few years we've only lost in the playoffs once since basically 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the years before we were losing just
we
about
always lose. Yeah, we always lost. And I mean, it's one of those things though, when you look back at it and you go, okay, well, maybe this is the new possibility. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for this game today. I'm excited. Actually, the one I'm really looking forward to is Man U. Because I think they're so on the precipice. Yeah.
They're there for the taking, honestly.
Awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And to think that Brentford can beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we need to keep hammering them there. Jesse, who's going to be our match winner today or our key player?
I mean, Xhaka is obviously, I think, always going to be in there. Mukiele, I think, is also going to be there. I mean, I just think after last week, he's only getting better and better and better. I'd love to. I mean, my heart says Rig because I'd love to see him have a good match for us. I'm just nervous about this game for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just sorry, Ian.
I was just thinking whether I'm nervous or not. I mean, I always used to be a real bundle of nerves, regardless of the game, regardless of whether it was important or it was the end of the season, and I couldn't give a toss whether we'd won or lose. Today, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good. That's good. I want some of what you've had this morning.
Diet Coke, mate. That's all I'm drinking. I'll be on the beer tonight during the match, mate.
That's all you have to drink during the day.
I'm a pessimist, so it's hard to just in general.
You're an actor, so you're very good at playing different roles and putting things and pretending.
There's a wine over here in California called The Pessimist, and on the back of the label it says a pessimist is never disappointed, and that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
But Jonathan, I think today is quite key as well, because if you look at our run of games in October, we've only got one match at home. I think we play Man United away, we play Wolves at home, and I think we play, I can't remember who the game is, but we've only got 3 away games and 1 home game, I think it is, or 2 away games. So would you say
I think the international break cuts into it.
Yeah.
So would you say it's kind of important not to lose today? Like it's a must not lose.
I guess this goes back on my expectations. My concerns are the home games. If we lose at a home game, I'm much more worried about it because that's where we need it to win those games or at least draw to stay up. But away games are kind of hit and miss. I really don't know. I would like them to beat them. There's no doubt about that, obviously.
Chelsea is the third game.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, right. So,
Who?
no, fair. So, yeah, I mean, for the sake of our staying up, it would be good to at least get a point. And that's kind of what I'm wanting out of this. If they get the point, that's a win, in my opinion. Because every single point you get away from home that's one less thing you have to worry about at home.
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll wrap up, but before we do, we'll get predictions in. Go on, Ian. You can go first. I know you.
I will be happy with a draw. I won't be surprised if we win. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. I mean, the goal is to get a point a game, and we're well ahead of the curve so far. We've played 5 games, great points. So, a draw, I would say. Don't ask me for a score. I'll just say a draw. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm going to move into the vernacular. It's going to be a tie.
Sorry, guys.
Rubbing it in.
He's rubbing it in there, isn't he? That's
I mean, a tie is normally something you wear around your neck, you know?
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, Jesse, on to you. What's your prediction for today?
All right. My head says, man, I hate this. My head says a loss, like a 1-0 loss. My heart says a 1-0 victory. Isidore, the scorer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, we'll take the second one.
Sorry. I'm just.
No, I get it.
I want to be wrong. I want my head to be wrong.
Jonathan,
I'm leaning towards 1-1. I think it's right there to get. They just need to be disciplined, which they've been more or less, with one exception, pretty much the entire season. And you just have to wait for your opportunities. And with Ange's team, I think that's the point. I think the European adventure they're having is going to make it a little bit more difficult for them. And I think this being the first game after their first European game in maybe 30 years. I think it's there to get, and I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them 2-1.
Yeah, that's going to be my prediction. My prediction is 2-1. I think with the way that they play, I think we can surprise them on the counter and get a couple of goals. But I'm expecting Chris Wood to score because he's a fucking ex-mag, isn't he? So
the other part,
Anderson, well, Elliot Anderson, he's going to play midfield. He's an ex-mag as well. So anyway, we'll wrap it up, and we'll fingers crossed we'll get a positive result. Thank you for everyone for watching the live stream, and thank you, Jesse, Ian, and Jonathan for coming on.
Cheers,
so,
lads.
how are the lads, and see you next time.
Lads.
Great to speak there. Cheers, Mara.
Bye-bye.